Hi, my name's Daddy and I'm going to tell you how to win Clash of Clans. Thank you for making it through the introduction, and don't worry, there won't be any more scary faces apart from this one. So, winning could be about making friends. You don't need any advice on that, although Clash is awesome in that nothing matters apart from what you say and what you do. White letters on a black background, it's all that matters. But winning for many of us means having a base and a profile and a badge that people admire. So how do you do it? Well, Clash is fairly unique in that the currency that you can pay for, gems, only buy time, nothing else. You know, if you have the time, then farming is the answer. But if you have not, then gems may. But many people do a little bit of both in the course of the game. And believe it or not, many farmers become very high-level players. I interviewed a guy called Dreamzerum. He was a #1 player worldwide. He was the first player past, I think, 4,500 a long time ago. And he started off as a farmer, watching my videos. Ah, excellent. And then he ended up being a great cup chaser. He chased it back in the golden days of hogs when they weren't nerfed. So anyway, if you want to farm, but you want to gem time, the most efficient way you can do that is buy the builders to accelerate the construction of your base. But gem the time, don't gem the resources. Or boost the barracks and use a highly efficient farming method. And we're going to talk about those in a second. Because farming really is all about focusing on resources per hour, not per raid. I mean, it's lovely to tell everybody that you just gain 1 million loot, or your average loot is, you know, 500,000. But if you're taking an hour to build that army, then, you know, it's always, you know, the tortoise gets there faster than the hare. So the more loot you can get per the time that you've got, and how best to spend that time wisely. If you've only got an hour to play Clash, you want to get as much as you possibly can. So, good strategies for farming. Well, if you're looking at gold elixir and dark elixir, then Barch, or my favourite strategy, wall breaker with Barch, is the strategy I take. Because my base is strong enough so I can log off and I don't get crushed. So I can just build the wall breakers in with the Barch. It's great for taking out the collectors, but it's a really short build time at about 20 minutes per raid, so I can get 5 raids in. You want to be clicking that next as often as you possibly can. An even faster strategy, because you've got 6 barracks going, is BAM. Great for golden elixir, but spending dark elixir to gain dark elixir, it's not a great idea. So golden elixir is BAM. If you're at a lower level, where the air defense are pretty low, and your archers and your barbarians aren't great, giant healer with either archer or barbarian is used quite often, and it's really effective. The problem is it's quite a long build time, but you're likely that your army camps are going to be quite small, so it probably won't matter that much. But if you're aiming for dark elixir, the best, most efficient strategy that you could possibly look at is boosting the barracks and then use giants, archers, barbarians, wall breakers and goblins. Now, the way that it works, you have to look at my video. I'm going to pop a link in the description to that one, because that's how you can gain 15k dark elixir, if boosted, per hour. It's the way that Stitch managed to max out his heroes, one of the first people ever to do so by farming. So, as important as gaining loot is, keeping it is important, and that's why avoiding trouble is really important. So be at the right cup level to avoid the big guys. I still get loot from Town Hall 8s. I see Town Hall 8s when I'm at Crystal 1, or Crystal 2, and I can gain 150,000 gold from them. So stay away from people like me with very strong armies. So I would love you to give advice to the community in the comments about what the right level is, but to my memory of being a Town Hall 7, you really don't want to go much further than past 1,000 trophies, unless you're aiming for Dark Elixir, where you might want to go up to maybe 1,200, because you want to avoid those Town Hall 9s, they'll just crush you. Town Hall 8s, maybe 1,400, something like that. But Town Hall 9s, really below 2,000. Unless you're hunting Dark Elixir, in which case you're going up. Now, you're going to be raided. It's part of the game, but don't be mad if you do. It's a learning experience, and it's karma as well, because you're farming. I stole most of my loot from other people, so I'm not going to get upset when they steal it from me. Use the replays and share the replays with clanmates who ask for help, but use them to refine your base. If people are coming from one side all at the same time, then there's clearly a weakness on that side and you need to fix it. Now, I'm not going to give you a tutorial on base design here. You're going to have to check my series, but there's two things you need to think about. One is separating out. So make sure your gold and your elixir and all your resources are well far away from each other. So if they attack from one side, they're not going to get everything. The other thing is segregate, and your defences as well. Make sure your defences are separated out. Don't put all your arch towers at the bottom and all your wizard towers at the top, because they just take them all out in one go. The other thing is segregating it out. Use your walls to slow the attackers down, so that all of their barbarians and their archers get bunched up against something where there's a wizard tower, and boom, they're all gone. So let's talk a little bit about cut pushing. So efficiency is also a factor in cut pushing. Now, do you want to be time efficient or do you want to be resource efficient? So gaining time efficient is the best way to be time efficient, unfortunately, is to spend money. And I don't recommend it, but that's the way you can do it. And you need to gain 2 or more stars. You need to take that town hall out. And for that, you need a big expensive army, which is going to take a lot of elixir, but it's also going to take a lot of time to build. So a lot of people boost. I don't recommend it, but you could do it. But you need to ask yourself, do you want to pay to go up quickly, or are you strong enough to be able to log off, build a strong army and come back and you haven't actually been beaten? The goal that you want to set yourself is achievable as well. A Town Hall 7, hitting champion, you're setting yourself up for failure unless you've got a ton of time or a ton of money. Tell you what do you think would be a good cut level to go for if you're cut chasing at certain Town Hall levels? Let us know in the comments, that'd be awesome. But resource efficiency as well. So conserving elixir and sniping is an awesome way to do that. So gaining the loot bonuses, and the loot bonuses in crystals really start to work out. I think crystal 2 is 65,000 or something like that of each, or 50,000 of each. But there's a bell curve to sniping. So below 1,000 cups, there's very few cups. There's very few snipes. Above 2,800 cups, there's very few snipes. Most of those are in the middle. So if you can imagine a bell curve where there's lots of snipes and then it tails off. So round about 14, 15, 1600 to 2,000 cups, there's loads of snipes. You have no problem at all, but they start to filter out. So a lot of people snipe to masters, or maybe 2,400, and then they switch to a heavy army, and by that time they've conserved all their elixir, they've got all those bonuses, and hopefully they've got a full elixir vats, and then you can go to something like a heavy army. Now there's two choices really, there's two areas. So there's ground, so if you have decent heroes and golems, you're looking at go wee wee, go white P, and all this sort of stuff. Or ground, if you don't have good heroes, you're looking at hogging, but hogging's been nerfed a heck of a lot recently. Now, if you don't have good heroes, and I didn't for quite a while, I still don't actually, they're not even in their 30s yet, air is a great choice. So, Mass Dragon, fantastic. It'd be useful if you can take out the air defense. Balloonian, so balloons and minions, line of balloons, line of minions, rage, freeze, follow in with the heroes. Or Lava Loonian, now dual or quad Lava Loonian. Now, if you want to have a list of, if you want to see a good list of all of the strategies that you could possibly take, in fact it's almost all of them, then I'm going to leave a link in the comments, and it's going to be to lots of other people's videos, because I haven't been able to organise all my, I think I've done most of those in my videos, but I haven't really got them all in one link. So I'll put a link somewhere where it's really handy for you in the description. So finally, let's talk about winning clan wars. So clan wars is all about strategy, and as leaders and as elders and co-leaders and members and all that stuff, you need to find a strategy that suits your clan, and a lot of that depends on when people are online. So if everybody is online at the same time, if you have, like, you know, the German clan or the British clan, the American clan or whatever, then you know that a tier strategy will probably work, because people will be able to work together on this. So take plus or minus 3 to your level for the first raid. And the second raid, just go mad. You know, take out whatever you can for the most cups. No heroics now, okay? But if you're on 24/7 equally, then a time-based strategy, I heard, works quite well. Although I've never actually tried it. Time-based is the first 8 hours, the lower third attack. Whatever they want for cups. Stars, cups, whatever. The second 8 hours, the middle third attack. And then the last 8 hours, the top tier, plus anybody else who's missed out attacks. So it really is up to you to decide how you define winning. Is winning a good base, a good shield, good profile, good friends? and then set yourself a target. And why do you want to win? Because it's a journey. It really is. There's no end game in Clash of Clans. You can't close the iPad and say, right, that's it, I've done it. The most important thing is having fun, because at the end of the day, that's what gaming is all about. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care. Bye for now.